city of Brussels, home to the European Parliament, World Heritage medieval buildings, and the location for this year's African Women's Forum. The event brings together heads of government, policymakers, business leaders and NGOs to exchange ideas and work together to create real change for women in the African continent. It's organised by the Swiss crans-montana Forum, which has been running for more than 30 years. One of the themes of this year's forum is how to empower rural women in Africa.
In Africa, we are still rural.
We are encouraging women to make agriculture as a business, not as a subsistent agriculture. We want to shift the paradigm and give a chance to women to modernize agriculture so that she can increase our productivity, our production and productivity, and also the income for the households.
Agriculture is the main source of jobs in Africa, with women contributing nearly 80% of the food supply. Yet women have access to only 15% of the land. One innovative solution being discussed at the forum is vertical farming. It's a method that uses no soil, 95% less water than traditional farming, and isn't affected by the weather.
Vertical farming does not need land. All it needs is space. So if one woman or two can get space from a community, they can be able to build their own vertical farming, meaning that they can be independent thereafter for their families and themselves. If, for example, you can be able to give the African woman that particular opportunity, first of all, to feed her family, well feed her family, then use whatever surplus to make an enterprise, I think that is, spot on.
The World Bank estimates that agribusiness in sub-Saharan Africa will be worth $1 trillion by the year 2030. More than a quarter of women in sub-Saharan Africa are already entrepreneurs, the highest rate globally. But African women face a $20 billion financing gap, meaning they're hugely disadvantaged in growing their businesses. Former London-based lawyer Grace Camera is harnessing the power of the African diaspora to combat this. She set up an investment fund where Africans sending money back home contribute a small percentage. That money is then invested in entrepreneurs with social enterprise businesses in Africa, from agriculture to tech and fashion.
African fashion is like the cool thing now, and a lot of it's featured a lot on the catwalk. So for me, this was an opportunity to really look at how we could support those fashion designers to bring their manufacturing base back to the continent. Could potentially create between 50 to 100 jobs. Our ethos is diaspora-driven development, and we're here to help the diaspora make a difference on the continent.
Networking and a strengthening of ties between women from different countries is a key element of the forum.
I think that if we really want to help African women, then it's not just about going to Africa to help them, although that's important. We need to aid them in making international connections, to meet people, exchange ideas and grow their network.
As more African women are empowered economically, the conclusion of the forum is clear. They'll also become powerful players in the fight against hunger, malnutrition and food insecurity.